Let's try it again. Hi, everybody. It's me, Madam Pamita. Will it work this time? We'll find out. Oh, it is
So it looks
working.
like it is. Yay. Okay, good.
On
I don't
YouTube, it
know.
says I'm the love witch, which I'm not. I mean, I wish I was the
Oh,
love witch.
no, you
Oh my gosh,
don't.
how do I change it? Can you change mine?
um, Gosh, everything changed. Yes, I
No,
can change
sorry.
yours. Here we
I
go.
put on the, I put, God, sorry guys, we were having
There you
technical
go.
difficulties. That's why we're late. Because our streaming service wasn't letting us in and it wasn't it's oh my gosh. So anyway, we're on YouTube only today. So sorry for anybody that isn't finding us, but they're not here. So I guess that's all. They're not here, so they don't know. But we are here on YouTube only today. We're gonna figure it out. We may have a new service to figure it out or whatever, but we'll make it happen. And then in the meantime, I pushed every single button. So now we have a different look that isn't to love, which is liking. Sorry. I was trying to
We're
push
gonna
all
figure it out.
this is my system of fixing things. Push every button. Oh my gosh, John Paul, it's
Well, hi,
great to
John
see
Paul.
you. We missed you. Oh my gosh, we haven't seen you in weeks and weeks and weeks. It's so great to see you. Oh my gosh. Well, since we are on YouTube, we have lots of options for getting a reading. Number one, the easiest one is you can go down to Super Chat down below, and it looks like a little dollar sign. You can make a donation there. You can make a donation on Venmo. You can make a donation on PayPal. We'll put those links up so that you can do that. I was just reading something I'm going to just share. Well, by the way, if you're watching this, what the heck are we doing? We're doing Tarot for Kindness. It's me and the Love Witch, me, Madam Pamita. Does it say Madam Pamita? Now it says nothing. Who the heck
It'll
am I?
say when the QR code's not on
Oh.
screen.
um,
Sorry,
so
pause my identity crisis.
it's me, Madam Pamita, and the Love Witch here. I'm doing tarot readings, and the Love Witch is doing
Charm casting.
charm casting. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love your charm casting. We're doing readings here live, and for a donation, 100% of the proceeds from that donation will go to feed seniors in Ukraine through our partners, Sabotin Harbor, who are in Kyiv, and they bring groceries to seniors. $40 buys 2 weeks of groceries for a senior, healthy, good food to senior, and so this is what they do, and we raise those funds every week. So happy to be here with you to do a reading for you. So if you have a question, you can ask that question. The readings are $10 per card. So if you want a 1 card reading, it's $10, 2 card readings, 20, 3 card readings, 30, and so on and so forth. If you do a 4 card reading, you're feeding a whole senior for 2 weeks. It's like you are being a magical little fairy that is coming in and making their life easy when they're in a war-torn country. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible. So you are alleviating some of that suffering by your donation. Plus, you get a great reading from me and a little extra bonus from the Love Witch, which is awesome. What was I going to say though about it? There was something I was going to say before I did this, and I don't remember what it was.
It was something you read and you were going to share.
I'll figure it out when I do. I don't know. I read somewhere that tarot readings extend your life by 50%.
I love that statistic.
That is a fake statistic, but I wish it was true.
Hey,
I mean,
as far as we're aware, it's fake. It might be true.
It might be true. Exactly. It might be true. We did get a donation from Bruce. Thank you so much, Bruce. Oh my gosh, so nice of you.
Oh,
You'd like to get a reading? What?
Sorry, it looks like we actually got 2 donations from John Paul too, but they're not showing up. I can figure out why.
Okay. All right. So we'll do Bruce's while you figure out. You can just you'll do your thing, figuring things out. Okay, so $10 on PayPal for 1 card. Last October, you pulled 1 card on whether a possible freelance assignment would come to fruition. You got the 6 of Pentacles, and I felt I would get some money, but ... ellipses. Since then, the project has been stalled. Will it be revived, and will I get this work and money? You know what's really interesting about spells is like, this is something that I think that you, Bruce, understand. You said something that is key. Since then, the project has stalled. So there are still possibilities for this project. So this is what I want to talk to you guys about spell work. and manifestation and life, spiritual practices in life. When we look at something, we tend to look at it like we're looking like this, right? We're looking at what's happening right now. We might consider something from the past, but we're basically like looking, this is what's happening right now. Our mistake, our biggest mistake is to say that what is happening right now is how it's always going to be. That's our biggest mistake. Our, I mean, that is a huge mistake, right? So
And let's be
when we
real,
look,
nothing is going to last forever. So if it's like this now, that's a guarantee that it won't be like that in the future.
so when I say when I see something, I mean, there's a wonderful, wonderful story that I talk about way early in my podcast, Magic and the Law of Attraction. I think it's like the second or third episode, how to deal with magical disappointment. It's really how to deal with disappointment magically, right? How do we deal with disappointment on a spiritual level? That's a better way of saying it. You're disappointed. You see this potential that it's going to bring you money, and you're disappointed that it's not here right now. But your mistake is saying or thinking, but I don't know if you're thinking this, but your mistake is thinking that how it is now is how it's always going to be. This is a huge thing in a spiritual practice, is to not get attached to what is happening right now, to think in more global ways, to think in more expansive ways, to think of the manifestation that you want to create and feed the manifestation. I'm not talking about you, Bruce. So this is other, situations and other clients that I have. But I'll have somebody do a spell and they'll be like, the spell didn't work. And I'm like, don't say the spell didn't work. Don't ever say your spell didn't work. You can say, my thing hasn't manifested yet, right? But there's a difference between my spell didn't work and I have not manifested this yet. You see the difference? What's the difference, Love Witch?
Yet.
The difference is yet, that there are possibilities and we have to be open to possibilities. And once we say our spell didn't work, we have just canceled out that spell. It's great when you want to cancel out a spell, that maybe you made a spell for someone to fall in love with you and then you change your mind. I mean, that's fine, if you want to do that. But for most of us, we want our spells to manifest, right? We want our intentions to manifest. We want that. So the best thing you can do is not get attached to what is happening this red hot minute. That is what is happening right now. We do not need to get attached to it. So if you are, working on this project and you want to see money from this project, you can say, hey, it hasn't happened yet, but what do I need to know about it? Maybe it won't happen, but it'll lead to something else. Maybe it will happen in 6 months or a year from now. Maybe things have to line up in some way for it to manifest in that way that you want. So I don't get attached to any outcome. I have had spells, honestly. This is really the truth. I mean, talk about spells. I know we're not talking about spells, Bruce, but it kind of goes in the same wheelhouse. I have had spells that I have done 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and I'm seeing the results of them now. Why? Because I set off that spell and then I didn't worry about it anymore. I set it off and I'm like, it's going to work out. I don't know how, when, whatever, but I'm not going to stop that flow from happening by putting some negative belief on it. So your money coming from this is still available to you. It's still available to you. Things may have to line up for that to come to you, right? I'm going to tell you my big example. This January coming up, I have a new book coming out. It is on Hay House. 15 years ago, I did a spell that I wanted to be a Hay House writer, right? 20 years ago, maybe even. I did a spell that I had no books. I had never written anything. I had a dream, a fantasy. I really thought this is like a fantasy, right? And things had to line up. At that point that I was in my life then, there was no avenue for me to get there. And what had to happen was an amazing series of events where I had an amazing editor reach out to me, say, hey, do you want to write a book? And I wrote a book with that publisher. And then that publisher, I moved to a different publisher because they wanted me to write something. I wrote some more books for them. I had to have books under my belt. I had to have my business built up. I had to have a bunch of things happen before I could get to the place that I am now, where Hay House was like, absolutely, come in. We would love for you to write a book for us. So I did not sit there and go, the spell didn't happen 1 year after or 6 months after. I was like, I'm just going to put it out there and I'm not even going to really think about it anymore. It'll be this lovely dream that I have, but I'm not going to stop the dream. I'm not going to stop the dream. So I'm not saying that your thing is never going to come. I would never say that. It's still in possibility. You said it has been stalled. It's stalled right now, but you don't even know what can come from that. You don't know what can come from that. So don't make judgment about what's happening right now. Have no judgment about it. It's all good. It's all good. So will it be revived and will I get my work and money? Let's see. Instead of saying will it, yes or no, let's say how. What do we need to know about this? I think is a question. I'm going to revise your question, Bruce. What do I need to know about the situation? Because I do want money and get this work and all of that. Yeah, I love it. If you would like to get a reading too, you can. You can make a donation on PayPal. You can go down to Super Chat, or you can do it on Venmo. All right, let's take a look, Bruce. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, this tells us all we need to know. Knight of Pentacles. By the way, I'm using this deck for those of you who are tarot nerds and want to know. This is an amazing deck, and I'm loving this deck so much. It's got queer people in it. It's got people of all skin tones. It's got everything. I love it. So anyway, all right. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles always means stick with the plan, keep going forward. It might take some time. Knight of Pentacles is a slower card, right? Six of Pentacles was what you got before, slower card. So you have to be patient. Sometimes, take some time, but trust it. Knight of Pentacles also is kind of challenging you in some way, I feel like. The challenge is, am I going to be courageous, right? A knight, when I think of knights, I think of courage. I think of being able to go out, being able to venture out in some way. And it requires in us some kind of being able to take a risk, right? But a Knight of Pentacles is like wise risks. He's not, doing any kind of crazy thing, but it's like, stick with it, stick with it. So that's your message. You will get that money in your hand, just like she has that big gold disc in her hand, right? You will get that, but you have to be willing to go the distance. So it might take a little while for this to come to fruition. When we have big dreams, sometimes those dreams do take a minute, because things have to line up. Like I told you, my story of, 15, 20 years ago. What I wanted wasn't achievable for me then. It was a fantasy, but it became a reality. And it took some time, and it took a path that I had to go on. So trust in that path, trust in your dream, trust in your work that you're doing, trust that you're going to get paid. If it's stalled in the moment, it's just stalled in the moment. It doesn't mean it's going away forever. It doesn't mean you want to give positive energy. Don't smother the baby, in other words. The baby is your dream. And we don't want to kill that baby, right? We want to keep that alive. So it's like, okay, it's not happening here and now, but somehow it's going to happen. Give it that. No doubt in my mind that you're going to see a fruition from this. Absolutely. It's confirming what we talked about in October, right? But you have to be patient for sure. With Knight of Pentacles, it's like he's going so slow. Step by step, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's like the ox that pulls the cart, just keep going. That's what you have to give to it. That's what's asking of you, is to stick with it. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. It's a momentary blip. It could come unstalled. Someone else could pick it up. A million things could happen. So keep the faith in your project. Keep the faith in your dream. You'll get there. Just don't put a time limit on it or get impatient or why isn't it happening right now? This can kill things too. That's a big one for spells. Boy, that's a big one from for spells. When people are like, "Why isn't it happening?" The minute their candle finishes, or the minute, "Why isn't it happening?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, please don't do that to your spell. Please don't do
Or
that
the
to your."
minute the candle is lit.
Yeah,
Sometimes it starts even earlier.
we do have those once in a while, don't we? Where's my spell? Why isn't it here? Yeah, that'll kill a dream when we start getting impatient with a dream. We have to let things line up, especially with things. I mean, I'm going to use my example only because I can talk about it in great detail. But Bruce, this really relates to what you're working on. I know your project that you're working on. Think about this: with a book, getting a book deal, a lot of things have to align. The world has to be in a certain state to want your book, right? I'm going to say my book. Um, the people that are making decision makers have to see certain things before they can be on board for it. There's a lot of things that have to happen for that to come to be. So, with your situation and what your project that you're working on, there's a lot of moving parts to it. So, allow those parts to line up. Don't get impatient with it. You're going to get there, but you got to have the courage to get there. The courage in this case doesn't mean rushing in. The courage means sticking with it. That's the courage of the Knight of Pentacles. I would say each knight has their own special courage. And sometimes the courage might be rushing into a burning building, right? That kind of courage exists. But there's another kind of courage, which is, I believe in my dream. I'm going to keep going with it. I'm not giving up on it. That's a different kind of courage, but it's still courage. So, yeah, yeah, I believe in it. So you can believe in your dream too. And if it distresses you, you can just set it aside and work on something else, and just wait for things to line up properly. So
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like that setting it aside is like the magic ingredient to speeding things up, right? Like as soon as you forget about your goal, all of a sudden it falls into your lap.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I have a very similar story. 10 years ago this year, or this month rather, I like set an intention. It's like, oh, I wish I was a professional tarot reader living by the beach with a fabulous wardrobe. None of those things were true. And I was a long way from each of those things because I didn't know how to read the tarot. I didn't know a single card. I lived in a landlocked state, but now, 10 years later, all of those things fell into my lap and way more. And it didn't take 10 years. It only took 7.
Yeah, one of I think one of the things that people, um, there's something that's called a lust for results. And lust means an unquenchable desire, not necessarily. I mean, sexual lust would be unquenchable desire for sex, but there's all kinds of lust. You can have a lust for money. You can have a lust for whatever, right? A lust for food. I mean, if whatever, it can be anything, but it means an unquenchable desire for something. And so when you have a lust for a result, sometimes it can work against you, not because the desire is working against you, but the doubts get in there. When we have a lust for results, we can get really anxious about our goal and what it is that we're trying to manifest. And the minute we just like release and let go and just say, whatever, it's fine, it's going to do its own thing. We allow it to flow where it needs to flow. Sometimes that is some of the best things that we can do. As I said earlier in our Q&A, by the way, our live magic Q&A happens every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can join us by going to spellsquad.com and signing up. And it's free. You can ask questions about anything magical and mystical. I'm so happy to answer them. And you'll get my opinions thrown in as a little bonus.
A huge bonus.
But anyway, so we were talking about this, and I said in chaos magic, I'm not a chaos magician, but I do know a little bit about chaos magic. And one of the things I love, like I kind of like a little cherry pick here and there about things, in chaos magic. The idea of creating a sigil is you're creating a something to create a certain result. But the point of the sigil is that you look at it, and when you don't remember what that sigil was about, what were you wanting with that sigil? When you don't remember what it is, it can do its work. That's the chaos magic belief. And I see a version of that, which is to like set your spell and set it. I always say set it and forget it, right? Set it and then go on to something else. Focus on something else in your life. Don't be hovering over it going, why isn't it happening? Because then that can really shrink things. It can choke things. So we don't want to be a hovering helicopter parent to our spells. We want to be able to send them off, let them do their thing in whatever way they need to go. And sometimes that path is a little twisty turny. My path was super twisty turny to achieve the goal that I'm super proud of and celebrating now. It was a super twisty turning path, things I would never have seen or predicted or foreseen had to happen, right? Before I could get to the point where my dream publisher became a reality for me. So there you go. There you go.
I have a
Um,
charm, by the
oh,
way. I
sorry
pulled
for
this little arrow charm. So I think you just need to send your intention off into the universe, and then, like we were saying, set it and forget it. And if you haven't done a spell, this is a reminder. Like, it could be a great time to light a candle or to do some other little bit of spell work, and then stop worrying about it or work on something else and wait for it to come around. But it's definitely going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Also, this QR code that we have on the screen now, if you scan that, you'll get the link to join us at the Live Magic Q&A each Sunday, and you can ask all kinds of questions.
Yeah,
And get all
it's a
kinds
lot
of
of fun.
opinions.
We have a great time. All right. So next we have John
We have
Paul.
John Paul.
Oh,
Let's see. John Paul
Paul.
resubmitted his questions.
Thank you so much.
So he has 2 questions. The first one is 4 cards, and the second one is 3 cards.
Okay. Oh, love that. Okay, so John Paul says, I will be going out next Sunday to several places which draw an older crowd. Will I meet someone special there? Will they be dressed in a special color, have a unique look or quality? Let's see what we see. Thank you so much, John Paul.
He also asked if he should wear a certain color. And the second card here.
Okay. All right, let's see what comes up. I love that idea. I mean, I think color magic, color magic is powerful magic. And I will dress in colors, although now I'm like on a color blue, green fan binge right now. But I will sometimes dress in a color. I don't always do it, but I sometimes dress in a color that is what I want to manifest. Like if I'm like, I need to manifest some more income, I'll dress in green because green need more luck. I'll dress in yellow or wear gold, right? So I think about color and what I dress in a manifesting way. So John Paul, before we even get there, dress in pink if you want romance. Add some pink. It doesn't have to be pink from head to toe, although pink from head to toe is amazing, right?
Look, yes.
No, I love pink from head to toe. My son, his favorite color is pink, and he'll dress pink from head to toe, and he looks amazing, right? And everybody loves him, by the way, so it works. He's a very popular guy. So pink could be great. Red for passion could be great too. So look at your wardrobe and what you have and like bring in pink and red into your wardrobe. I mean, red is very magnetic and, and can be really great. And pink can be great for that romance. So that's how I would say do it in a more, rather than having the cards tell you what to do, but just have it more conscious, like in a magical sense, like what is it that you want to bring in? If you want to be lucky, wear yellow. If you want to be prosperous, wear green. If you want to be grounded, if you're feeling like too scattered, wear brown. If you want to be protected, wear black. If you want to be empowered, wear purple, right? So if you look at color magic and you look at the color magic section of my book, the book of Candle Magic, there's a whole section about colors, and you can look at those colors and see what they bring, and you can match your outfit to whatever it is that you'd like to invite in your life at that time. So for a romance, like a date thing, applying Come To Me oil, I love that. That's amazing. Fame and fortune oil, if you have it, is also very good for like bringing positive attention to you. I kind of recommend this to people who may be a little more introverted, a little, little shyer, a little more challenging for them to be outgoing. Fame and fortune will bring people's attention to you in a positive way, positive attention always. So fame and fortune is great. Love that one. So you can add a little bit of that, a little bit of this, you can mix it up, but it's all good. And I love that Come To Me oil. But yeah, wear a little pink or a little red. It doesn't have to be head to toe. Like I said, although head to toe looks great. It could be just, a pocket square or a shirt or, something like that. And just bring that color in. And that's a wonderful thing to do. All right. So let's take a look at your weekend plans. Weekend is right. The weekend. right? Is that what the
I think
question was?
so.
How can we?
Let's pull it back up. Yes, next Sunday.
Oh, I'm loving this already. Oh my gosh, I love this already. Okay. First, very positive energy about this. You're going out several places with straw and older ground. Wonderful. So here's the thing. I'm kind of laughing because what you want to go in with, you're going to see, not this card is not the one I'm laughing about. The second card I'm about to show you. First card is go in with full energy. Full energy is very open to all the possibilities. That's what you really want to cultivate here. It's just like being like, let's see what happens, right? Could make amazing new friends, could meet a romantic partner. Lots of things could happen here. Could get an opportunity for, anything could happen. And you want to go in with that optimism of like any good thing can happen. What's your mantra for this weekend is what's the best that could happen? What's the best that could
I
happen?
love that.
Right? Such a good one, right? So good. So I think you want to come in with that full energy, which is very open, it's a very young and fresh and like this is exciting and fun. And I mean, I love when I'm a kind of person that when I go to a place where I'm not like familiar with the vibe or something like that, I kind of almost view it as like an anthropological expedition.
Mm.
I remember my kids taking me to like a gaming convention and I was like, what am I? What? I had no point of reference for anything. It was wild and fun. It was when they were little. They were like little tweens and we were going to Minecraft convention, the first Minecraft convention. And so if you go in with like that, I'm like just gonna kind of check out these scenes. Like I'm gonna see how people do these things and I want to know what their interests are and their passions. And even if they're not your passions, you can get a lot of enjoyment out of those experiences and learn something. So come in with that kind of blank slate energy of just like I'm gonna learn something, I'm gonna meet new people. If you wear your, magnetic attraction oil or your come to me oil or your fame and fortune oil, you'll have people coming in. This is where I laughed. This is the part I laughed about, which is Two of Pentacles. And now you know why I'm laughing.
I
Because it is
do.
one, it's going to be two or more that are interesting to you and you are interesting to them. So you might have to do a little juggling, right? Like, how do I pay attention to more than one person at a time? But you can, mix and mingle and go about and like, get some phone numbers or do whatever. But I think it's like this kind of wonderful energy of like more than one possibility. As it should be, as it should be. When we're getting to know people, we should have a little buffet in front of us, right? Because we're going to spend time with different people. And as we go in, we're going to get to know them. It's like going to the buffet and trying, you get a little bit of each thing that looks good to you, right? And then you try what you like. And then you try these things. And like some of them might be, yeah, it's all right. And then others might be, oh my gosh, that's delicious. I want more of that, right? So I think having more than one option, having a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I mean, however high you want to go in the alphabet, having more than one option is good at the beginning. I always recommend to people, you should be dating and mixing and mingling at the beginning before you settle down with anyone. You should be, kind of having a little bit of things going on here and there, because then the cream will rise to the top. If you're only focused on one person from the beginning, which many people do this, it's not like it's bad or wrong, but you're going to spend time with that one person and you don't really have anything to compare it to. Likewise, when you have more than one option going on, you're a little more empowered in that situation, right? Because you're like, if it doesn't work out with plan A, I got plan B, C, and D, right? So it kind of makes us more confident because we know we have a plan B, C, and D. We aren't like, clingy, desperate, not saying you are, but clingy, desperate, or feeling like, oh my gosh, this is my only thing and I've got to make it work. You got options, right? So I think it's really good that this opportunity is going to open up more than one option for you. You might have to juggle a little bit, but you can do it. And it's appropriate at this early stage when you're just getting to know people. That way you can find out who the best, it's like, may the best man win, but that's what we need to do, right? Is have that situation. I love this card, Temperance card showing up. You are going to meet people in your soul group. You're going to meet people in your soul group. I mean, maybe one, maybe two, maybe more, right? Soul group people are people that we click with immediately. That's how we know a soul group relationship. Some people can say it's like love at first sight, but it's never love at first sight. It's re-meeting someone that you've already known in a past life. It's re-meeting. You have an instant soul connection. When we have those instant soul connections, it happens and we feel it both ways. Both people feel it always. It's like you have that inner knowing, you have this wonderful, amazing experience. So this is very fascinating to me because we have more than one option, but maybe more than one option as a soul group person. And then we have an interesting conundrum, I guess. Lastly, it's thruples and quadruples and quintuples nowadays. So, there's nothing to say. Have it all, baby. You can have it all. Empress card energy. I love this for you, John Paul. I love this for you. Empress card energy represents having a love that is multifaceted. This is not just hot, sexy lover. This is hot, sexy lover, best friend, loving companion, person that you like to hang out with. They fulfill so much for you, not just the role of lover. And I love that for you. I love this for you so much. And this is the love goddess shining down on this. So I love that you're going out to these events. I think this is going to be a lot's going to spark from this weekend. And this is really good. And you'll have it's a wonderful experience. And you're going to meet people that you click with immediately. I love that. I love that. It's so good. So that's the first question. All right.
I pulled a charm for the first question too, if that's okay.
That's
I got this little rocking chair, which I love so much. So I think this represents a couple of things. One, this is somebody in your soul group and somebody that you've spent a lot of time with before and that you have the potential to spend a lot more time with in this lifetime. But I think also like what's screaming out about this to me is that this person's energy and what you need to look out for is somebody who's really easygoing. Somebody who's not like super worked up or overexcited, but like they're sitting in a rocking chair, just taking it easy. So see if you can spot that energy. And you know what I do when I'm going into situations where I'm uncomfortable or where I feel uncertain? I look at it as an acting job. Like, okay, tonight I'm playing the role of the most popular person and most confident person at this party. And here we go.
I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh.
The reviews come after.
That rocking chair, you hit it right on the nose. It feels like very flowing, very, very easy. It will feel easy and relaxed. It'll be exciting, but it will also feel like so flowing and natural, right? It'll just feel like it. As for like the color, I know you asked like what color will they be wearing and all of that. I feel like it's beyond that. You're just going to have an inner like click. It's not about what they're wearing. It's like a click. That you'll
it's
just
the color of their soul, which is radiant.
Exactly. So I don't want you to get caught up on color or looking for a certain look or looking for a certain, hat or anything like that. It's really just looking for the soul connection. It will be apparent to both of you. It will happen easily. So but wear your red or pink. I definitely recommend wearing red or pink. All right. I also said John Paul gets special privileges. He gets 2 charms. So you've been doing readings and making donations for a long time, John Paul. We're so happy to do it. I've been listening to Deep Forest's second album, Bohem, and have felt a connection to Baba Yaga. Oh my gosh. I would love to leave her an offering at my park in my neighborhood that has an ambiance of a forest for her to work with me. Oh, love that. I love that. I love that. So this is the question for the reading?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I'll talk about great offerings for Baba Yaga. This is awesome. She's like a kind of a tough grandma who loves you, but expects a lot of you. She's going to make you work hard. I'll tell you that much. All right. Okay. Interesting. I love this. So I think, you know what I'm seeing here? She isn't ready for an offering of a thing from you yet. Not yet. Not yet. You need to spend some time just in the forest. Spend some time there. hang out there. Come with love, come with respect, but don't make an offering yet. I don't think it's the right time. Um, Not that you're not ready, and not that it's just like that's what she's saying. So here's the first card, which is Five of Pentacles. I'm going to show you all the cards because I'm going to show you how how I got to this. Second card is the Death card, and the third card is the Five of Wands. So Five of Wands is like scattered energy, confused energy, right? Not being on the same page. So when I see Five of Wands showing up here, I'm like, this is not the time. Five of Pentacles also saying this is not the time. Death card is saying, I also think that she's that gateway spirit to the like realm of the dead. So it may be because I know that you've been dealing with a lot of loss, like, your beautiful Jessica your cat Jessica. You have had a lot of loss, and it may be that you're needing to work through that loss before you make the offering to her. That's what I kind of feel like. There needs to be this, maybe it's like still too raw for you, to be, being directly in contact with her right now. Not to say that it's not like a judgment on you. It's just saying now is not the right time. It may be the right time in a few months. It may be the right time in 6 months, maybe the right time in a year. She's saying to you, it's like, we got to get to know each other a little bit more. I know an offering is a great way to get to know a spirit and to show your devotion, but I feel like just spending time in the forest is what you need to do right now with this. Just spending time in that park. You can absolutely send love to the park. You can send love to her, but not time for a physical offering. No physical offering right now. The time will come though, but it's just not quite yet. You need to listen to her. You need to get in. And I'm wondering if it's like all the losses that you felt, it's too raw to work with her deeply right now. It just may be a little, not quite the right time. And maybe that time will come in a few months, like I said, when you're, when it's not so raw, Yeah. She's a tough cookie. So maybe that's why it's not the right time. You don't need more tough stuff in your life right now. You know what I say that with real honesty. Working with Baba Yaga will be hard work. And you've had a lot of hard stuff lately. So you don't need any more hard stuff right now. It's a tough gig working with her, I have to say. I really do.
Tough but rewarding.
Tough but rewarding. Exactly. It's not like tough for no reason. But like, it's like after somebody's just gotten home from the battle, I wouldn't send them on a climb to Mount Everest, right? You can get to the top of Mount Everest. That's a great thing, but it's a lot of effort. So I think right now it's like, let's put that off a little bit so that you can heal, so that you can feel like this sense of love and sense of care and concern and loving energy. You need gentler energy than she is. She's like a Olympics coach. An Olympics coach is going to make you practice every day and work you hard. And I don't think I can't judge what you're ready for. Believe me, I can't judge that. But I know you've been through a lot. I don't think you want to invite hard work right now. I think you want to invite some ease right now. So that may be why she's like saying like, now's not the time. That's all. That's all. You need to regroup and feel strong and feel vital and feel ready to climb that Mount Everest. Like, I feel like that's the energy. Yeah. That you need to have that need for a challenge, great reward, amazing rewards, but it's a lot, working with her is a lot. And so it's like working with an Olympics coach, and you need a little cushy spa treatment right now is what I feel like. So maybe that's why she's saying not yet. You got to build up your energy.
But do it in the forest.
Yeah. And exactly. Like, I think healing in the forest, like what I was getting is like spending time in that park is a great thing. And it's a great way to honor her, but not to work to such a deep level of like, we're going to work together. Cause that's like taking on, like I said, Olympics coach. It's rough. It's rough. I cried a lot when I was working I work with her all the time, but I work more deeply sometimes than others. When I was writing that book, I cried a lot, so. But, rewards were great. Book did great. Lots of amazing things happened from that book. So I'm not sad about it at all, but it was climbing Mount Everest, man. It was a lot. So you need a little spa treatment right now. Mm-hmm. Then the time will come when you're feeling good and reinvigorated and frisky and full of energy that you're like, okay, I'm ready to train for the Olympics now. Okay, we can do that. So, yeah.
I got this key charm, and I think this is some more affirmation that like that door is still closed, and that door is maybe even locked right now, but for good reasons, right? But it doesn't mean she's not reaching out to you and inviting you into her space and inviting you to get some healing from the forest. So definitely spend some time outside. And I think even, I mean, I don't know that. In fact, I know that this actually isn't associated with Baba Yaga, but maybe when you're ready to work with her, taking her a key to your house could be a good way to do that, right? And I don't know if you want to leave a key to your house in the woods, but you could leave it on your altar, or you could leave it in the woods. I mean, a key is pretty anonymous.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to go to a lot of doors to figure out what it unlocks, but she's gonna know right where to take it. So maybe when you're ready, you can work with something like that.
That's a great thing to do. That's all like, and that like has that element of trust and there's something about that that is really resonates, like
Yeah,
she's asking you to take a risk. I mean, there's, when you work with dark goddess energy, it's, she's one of the dark goddesses. Hecate is another dark goddess. I mean, there's lots of dark goddesses. Kali, there's lots of dark goddesses, right? Um, it's a lot. It's energetically, it's a lot. And you've been through a lot and you need more. I think, John Paul, you need like more cuddly energy right now. And, she's there standing in the wings, waiting in the wings. And the day may come when you're like reinvigorated and ready to work with her. So, but, yeah, I think you need just more cushy energy right now. Is feeling what I'm feeling. But the being in the forest is a great way to honor her, and just hanging out there, could be really good. Yeah, so sweet. I bet you have beautiful, beautiful parks. Oh my gosh, in your state, amazing parks. I'm sure it's all foresty and beautiful there. So
where is
yeah,
Jean Paul?
Colorado.
Oh, I'm very jealous. That sounds
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. All right.
I'll go
So
there next week.
thank you so much, John Paul.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jean
so much,
Paul. So good to
Bruce.
see you. Okay,
Avenue
next we have
Potter.
Avenue Potter.
Oh my gosh, my friend and I were talking about pottery today. I don't know if Potter is your name or you are actually a potter. Maybe a potter because Avenue Potter sounds like a company, a business. We were talking about I have a like desire to make tiles. I don't know. We were talking about tile stuff. It would be amazing, right? Um, 4 card reading. My first novel, a very dark fantasy novel, is coming out next year. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's a huge accomplishment, huge, huge thing. Congratulations. Writers, man, I feel you. It's a lot. And the fiction writers, I really feel you. It's like, you guys are amazing. I mean, I write nonfiction and I feel like fiction writers, man, you guys are superheroes. I think it's amazing when people write fiction. How will it be received? Is there anything I should watch out for? Well, I'm going to tell you, if it were my situation, it might be good to do some spell work around success. We have we have the Leo success grant, success spell coming up starting tomorrow. Do we have a link for that? I don't know.
We don't, but if you go to parlorwonders.com, it's going to be on the homepage tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we
yeah.
still don't have a wait list figured out. So the best way to stay updated about the new moon actually is to join our mailing list, because you'll get an email tomorrow as soon as it goes on sale and every time it goes on sale.
Yeah. So spellsquad.com is where you need to go to sign up for the email list, and then you'll know. But tomorrow, Monday, all the way through Sunday, next Sunday, we're going to be selling we only have a 1-week window for you to purchase it because we need to get it to you on time. So next 12 o'clock noon tomorrow, the success spell goes on sale. So if you want to do a spell, it's like the easiest thing to do, and it's perfectly aligned for like success of any kind. And you get this gorgeous beeswax, big beeswax, pyramid candles, support candles, herbs, oils, full directions on what to do, and it's going to be amazing. So would be an amazing thing. That's like almost like the perfect spell for you if you wanted to do a spell around your success with your book. So, in fact, that's probably what I'm going to put on my version of it. I'm going to do success or my book that's coming out in January. So, let's take a look though with the cards, what we see around your book, what you need to know. I love that question, and congrats. Just by completing a book. Oh my gosh, you are a superhero in my book. Fiction book is an amazing thing. It feels like an alien I mean, I can write nonfiction books all day, every day, but this feels like this amazing, beautiful thing. All right. First card is the Five of Wands. So Five of Wands makes like you want to make sure, like to support your book, that you are. I kind of feel like that you're putting your energy toward that book, but not trying to please all the people. That's a key thing. Like, I think you have your genre, your genre, and you want to appeal to that people that love that genre. You're not going to please everybody with your book. And I think you got to get, that's just part of having, something that's strong and amazing, is to get into the place where you are like, this is for my people, and my people, my followers are the people that like dark, very dark fantasy. That is not fluffy. It's not, daisies and pink hearts. This is something that is for my audience. Cultivate that audience. Don't try and please all the people. Pleasing all the people, you end up with bland, cold oatmeal. That's what pleases. I don't even think that pleases everybody. What's the bland? Water. Water doesn't even please everybody. I don't know. Is there anything that pleases anybody? Air. Air pleases everyone. So you'll end up with air. I think your book is more substantial than air, and I think it's got a flavor to it. And so I think you want to focus that energy, getting all of your team focused on that audience, and being a part of that audience can be very, very helpful. Like going to the places where people that like that genre hang out online, virtually, and in real life. Those real life encounters are very, very powerful too. So if there's dark fantasy conferences, things like that, go to those things, because you're going to cultivate and bring in those people. That's what you're going to do. I love this energy of the Page of Swords. This is like the writer. I mean, she's actually holding a book. I mean, that could not be more. It's the beginning of something that is going to bring so much joy to you, and such a wonderful energy going out there. It is, be positive, be joyful, enjoy every minute of this whole experience. You're going to learn as you do this experience. I think one of the things that, like, I'm now on my fifth book. I don't know, whatever, sixth book. I don't know, whatever number, fifth book, I guess, right? Fifth book. So if you don't count the tarot handbook, but, so when you write each book, you have a different experience. And it's not only just in the writing of the book, but it's in like what happens with the marketing, what happens with the, all of that stuff. So learn from this, because whatever you experience in this one, you can apply to the next book. I think this is the beginning, with the Page of Swords showing up, of a series of books. It can really have that extension. And the Page of Swords is like the beginning of that joyful journey, so go on that journey. You are learning as you go. I mean, I learned every book that I've been on. I've learned something about the publishing business, honestly, not just about writing. Each book is like a unique child. It is bizarre when you write a book, like how different the experience is each time. Some are really hard and some are really easy. Some are really like, and then you feel excited about them. I mean, it's wild, the journey that you go on. Every book is unique. And so I feel like this is the beginning of a series. I love it. I think this is such a good beginning to that whole thing that you're going to do, and you're going to learn so much. So be open. This is your opportunity to be a student. Like, you're learning as you go along. You're learning about publishing business. Now, this is fascinating to me. We move from page to queen. Queen energy is about now feeling confident, knowing what you have, and knowing what you have is good. I almost want to say this is very mothering energy when we see Queen of Cups. And I want to say, like, be a good mom to your book, or dad, or parent to your book, whatever. Be a good parent to your book. Be a good parent to your book. A good parent lets their book go. Like, there's a kind of quality of caring for it, but not smothering it, right? Like, you want to, like, let the book have its life out there. It is one of your many children that you will have. So you don't need to be a helicopter parent. You want to give energy to it, but also just let it go out there. Let it have its life. I do feel like books have their own life. They have, just like if you have a kid and they develop their own friendships, you cannot force the friendship. They're going to develop their own friendships. So they're going to bring back to you new people, new followers, and you're building something that is going to build and build and build and build in this genre. So keep working on that, but nurture it, but also give it some freedom too. It's a delicate balance, right? You don't want to let it, you aren't going to orphan your book, right? That's not what we're talking about. But it's like, let it have its life separate from you. When you create things, you're like a god or a goddess. You're creating something and putting it out into the world, and it has its own life. Do you feel like that? You may not know this, that the Love Witch has written books.
It's true.
And
Fiction
yeah,
books.
fiction books.
Or
That's why
thinly veiled fiction. Yeah, it's 100% like playing God, but it's pure creation, right? Like you are creating something out of nothing, especially with fiction. So yeah, that's your baby, and it's very tempting to want a helicopter parent it. But like, are you currently making edits to the book of Candle Magic, Pam? No, you're letting that book be out there living its life, and I bet it's ended up in places that you never even imagined, because that book is all over the world.
Yeah, it's translated into a bunch of languages. It's amazing. Yeah, it's like a phenomenal thing. But I just kind of, it's almost like, just like being a parent, you like little baby. I feel like the little baby is your new book. But then as it starts to get into its like maturity, you let it, you welcome it, you love it, but you let it have its own life because you've moved on to your new baby, right? And that's what's going to happen with this, is that I feel like there's a series here, especially with the last card, which is the Emperor card, right? Which is you moving up into very high levels. So I feel like this book is going to bring you opportunities that move you up in that world of publishing, that move you up in this world. So it might be a twisty turning path, it might be a straight ahead path, it just remains to be seen. But what it will do is, this is what I was like fascinated about. It's like young, middle, senior, right? Like it's like this growth pattern. And this is how the cards came out in that order. This was not me reordering them. This is how they came out. So I feel like once you have the potential to move up into that world of being a leader in the dark fantasy thing. If you stick with it, if you go into another genre, that's fine too. People do that, try out different things. But I feel like this has the potential to lead to other things. But also remembering that in the publishing world, it's very rare that someone makes a big splash with their first book. That happens. It does happen. But I feel like for the vast majority of people that stick with it, it's like building, 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 because every book has its own life and will find people. And then when they find book 3 in the series, right, they're going to go, oh, I want 1 and 2, right? When they find book 6 in the series, they're going to go, I want the whole set, right? But it's building something and building and building. And you're just building this empire with the Emperor card. So I feel like this is amazing. So it's the beginning of an amazing story. That's what this book is about. Your story, your success story. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, I like immediately saw a series in my head too when I read this question. So if you're not currently thinking of making this a series, Ebony Potter, you should definitely reconsider that. The charm I pulled is this golden car. This is the only gold charm I have in the whole bag. So I really think you've struck gold with like this genre and with this book. And it's going to take you places just like a car does. This looks just like the car that I moved to New York City. And so like it can really get you somewhere. And I see it happening. So yeah, just be ready for the ride, and remember that like the ride is half the fun, right? Like the destination's only a part of the journey. So
Yeah.
be ready for every part of this.
Enjoy every part of it, right? Like enjoy every part of it too. I have to say, like, one of the things I've done music, right? I didn't make any big splash in music, but I had, music projects that I worked on and things like that, right? But working on music projects, I had a bandmate that was fixated on, I want to hit the big time. I had visions and dreams. Like I was like, I want to have this is my dream. You can tell I'm a kid that was born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s. Led Zeppelin had their own big 747 jumbo jet that they would tour in the country. I said, I want to have my own jumbo jet tour. Which doesn't even exist anymore. People don't fly like that. But I mean, it was like that was my big fantasy. But it was like a fantasy. Like I'm like, if I don't get that, I'm fine. But it was like that would be the thing for me, like being a big band, right? Being a big famous band. But even little things that happened to me, there was joy and appreciation for like crazy, fun, amazing tours that we went on and all kinds of adventures that we had in the band. And we never made it big, but we had a great time. And so I think that having that attitude, cultivating the attitude of enjoying every step of the way, not like I had that bandmate that was like, I'm not going to enjoy this until I hit the big time, until I'm signed to a big label, and I'm, you know, making my living from music. In other words, I mean, I think that was the intention. And I feel like, oh my gosh, you missed so much joy on the way, because if that was the only thing that was going to give this joy, yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, it is a series. We'll be 6 books. But you happen to mention 6 specifically. All right, I said 6. That's amazing. I love this. I feel like this journey of each book is going to be, it's writing is painful and joyful. It can be very painful at times. Some books are not that painful. Some books are really painful, hard to write, and you're struggling. And then other ones just kind of flow. It's always different with everyone. But yeah, the series is like building, and just think of it as this journey where you're like traveling and going forward. And I mean, that golden car is like perfect, right? Like I'm riding in the golden limousine to my like great outcome. So working on it's just, I think it's lovely. And I think it's perfect that you have a series. Both Love Witch and I picked up that the series is the way to go. And the fact that you already have the series mapped out is amazing. I love that. So this is perfect. So yeah, you're at the beginning of that journey, but you're going to move up and up and up. That's what I see.
It's so
Awesome.
exciting.
Yeah. All right. Who's next? Devon, and then we have Galadriel, and then we have Universal Soul Goddess. Thank you so much, you guys. Avenue Potter and John Paul and Bruce. Thank you so much, you guys. We're so appreciative of the donations you're making to help those seniors in Ukraine, feed those seniors, and get some fun tarot readings too. This is awesome. Thank you, Devon. Hello, a full granny for via PayPal for my usual week ahead focus energy. You're always right for me every week. It was such a great way to prep for my week. Thank you, beautiful thing you do for the grannies and grampies. You're so welcome. Oh my gosh, we're thankful for you making these donations and helping them. You're the ones that are helping them. I mean, we're just kind of having some fun and bringing some, awareness to it and giving you an opportunity to hang out with us. But we're coordinating it, but it's really your donations that are helping. I mean, I throw in some extra money every week anyway, but I'm so grateful to you guys, coming here and getting your readings and all that. And Devon, was your last week? I remember last week was a great week. It was like all these great things, right? I'm like, there's some opportunity in there. All right, let's see what's coming up for Devon this week. Here we go. Here we go. I love all this air energy. You're an air sign. My little Gemini fairy. I love you, my little Gemini fairy. Ace of Swords is the first card to pop up. Ace of Swords is this energy of like new ideas, fresh energy, like a fresh wind coming in. I feel like there's this whole new, even though it feels, I would say, swords, air are all aligned with spring, even though we're in the middle of summer and hot and humid and all of that stuff. But the freshness of that fresh breeze coming in after a cold winter, that little warm spring breeze that comes in, it just feels so good. It's like clearing out the dust. And that's the energy of Ace of Swords. This is a very victorious card too. We've got a big crown of victory here. It's a success-oriented card. It also has to do with communication, like communicating, speaking your truth. I feel like that energy is fresh energy coming in, really fresh energy coming in. Beautiful energy for this week. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air for you. And I feel like this is a platform where you can say things that need to be said. You can communicate what you need to communicate. You will be successful this week in everything that you endeavor. If you put it out there, like something you're going to work on, a thing or things that you're working on, they will have success around them, which is a great thing. Might even be good to like find an image of the Ace of Swords and, print it out on your computer and carry it in your wallet, just carry that talisman of that fresh, successful energy. Eight of Cups is saying go out, venture out of your comfort zone to get what it is that is going to satisfy you. You got a pretty good life when we see Eight of Cups. You got lots to appreciate in your life, but there's like a missing piece that's going to be the missing puzzle piece for your life that's going to bring like I'm happy in every area of my life. Usually this has to do with emotion, things that are going to make your heart sing. So what is it that is like the thing that is missing that you'd like more of in your life? And this is a great week to go out and get it. Like venture out of your comfort zone, go out, do things. I mean, we're in a great time of year for getting out, no weather's decent, you lots of activities and events and festivals and fun things going on. So it's a great time to go out and be out into the world, go out into the world. I get a sense from this card too for you, Devon, is like inviting synchronicities. So we can invite more synchronicities in our life. Synchronicities are coincidences that are meaningful, right? They're not a coincidence. It's actually something odd and miraculous and meaningful coming into our life. And it seems like synchronicities tend to happen more when we are in the flow of life. What do I mean by in the flow of life? I mean out in the world in some way, usually physically out in the world. We meet we're in the right place at the right time. We see somebody that we haven't seen in a long time. All these things that can happen. We can have synchronicities if we stay home, but if we get out into the flow of life, they come faster. They just seem to come faster. These signs, these important messages, and these synchronicities. So I feel like that getting out a little bit this week would be really good for you. Go out with a friend or go make new friends or get out and enjoy some music or some culture or some fun or some, nature or whatever really makes your heart sing, because that is what this card is about, is getting that thing that makes your heart sing, and getting out into the world can invite those opportunities and really open up those opportunities. I mean, I have to say almost every great thing that happened in my life is because I'm out of my house. Not that my house is bad. Not much happens in my house. Let's just say that. I work, I do my thing, clean up, I enjoy there's a time of being inside and enjoying just being cozy and watching a show or whatever. When you get out in the world, exciting and cool things can happen, really. I love this Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords energy is asking you to advocate for yourself. Can be bringing in people that advocate for you too, that are like defenders of you, people that are champions for you. But I also feel like it's that thing within us that's like willing to advocate for ourselves, willing to stand up, and stand up for ourselves. This is such a good card. It's like, it doesn't even have to be like standing up for yourself, like getting in an argument. It can just be speaking your truth. It can be like, that doesn't feel good to me, or what you said was hurtful. It doesn't mean having a fight with someone, right? So it's like advocating for yourself, being willing to advocate for yourself. Ask for what it is that you need is a great way to advocate for yourself, is just ask and let people know, communicate what you need. And lastly, we've got Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is like such a card of like juggling things, but doing it with being an adept at juggling. Like, so you're handling, this is a multitasker. I'm not surprised. You're a Gemini. Geminis are all multitaskers. They have 15 projects going on at once, and they're good at them all, and they can do it all and not get stressed out. It's pretty amazing when you watch my gems do their thing. But this is like that energy of like balancing things, juggling things, having more than one thing going. So I would say invite some, invite lots of excitement and interests and activities. Do more than one thing this week. If you have an opportunity, grab a friend and go to a thing, but go to something else too. Do more than one thing. Don't just say I'm one and done. I think that this is a great opportunity for you. So magical synchronicities, and heart fulfillment open up from getting out into the world, in other words. So love that. What you
I'm
get?
going to keep that in mind. I never think of like all the good things that happen in my life is happening outside of my house. But when you said it, I'm like, well, a lot of them have. You're right. And
Like
a lot
when
of
you,
great things happen at home too, but
yeah,
I
it's not
should
that
leave
home
more.
is bad. It's not home. Home is not bad, but home is a cocoon that
Hmm.
that we can regroup and all of those things, and it's great. You know what I mean? And we can invite people into our home, which is also can be a great thing. But when we want to invite like synchronicities, they really happen out in the world,
Yeah.
right? You know.
I got this little heart with some paw prints on it. So I don't know if you have a pet, Devon, but if you do, this could be a really great week to connect with that pet. But if you don't, spend some time with other people's pets, or go observe animals in nature, or read a book or a blog post on an animal. But find some way to tapping into animal energy this month, or this week, because I think they're calling out to you, and I think it's going to be good for your heart. And I would say like directly interacting with an animal is going to be better than just looking at them in nature, but just looking at them in nature is going to be better than looking at them on your phone. So do the one that is strongest but available to you.
Yeah, I mean, like, another thing about that little heart, I kind of feel like the paw prints are like movement, right? It's like you're walking,
Yeah.
moving,
Hmm.
getting out there and making movement
Totally.
forward. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I do walks as I go on my walk and I look at like the animals that I see in, by the way, I'm in the city. I mean, it's not like city. It's got lawns and things, right? But as I walk in my city, I see things like amazing things. You're always commenting, Love Witch, on the crazy nature that I see. Rabbits, ground squirrels. A ground squirrel convention was crazy. Crows everywhere, bees swarming. I mean, amazing things happening when you get out into just even a little bit of nature. I'm not even in a park. I'm just walking past people's houses and I'm seeing all these amazing animals. So just noticing the animals around you, you can have deep connections to those. If you have a pet, of course, you have a different, deeper connection to a pet because you see them every day. You have a relationship with them. But I think just being in around nature of any kind, you're going to see some amazing animals that you might have a heart connection to. Wild animals, you would never take a wild animal and take it out of its, habitat. That is not a good thing. But we can develop relationships with those wild animals that respect their wild nature, right?
Hmm.
You can make eye contact with an animal that doesn't hurt the animal, doesn't, harm them, but it is a connection. You can stand in their environment. You can stand near them. When I was like that bee swarm, I stood near that bee swarm. It was amazing energy. I was like 2 feet away because I didn't want them to feel crowded,
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can just, hang out with the animals and have amazing adventures. That's a really good one. I love
Yeah, we
it.
have a ton of like stray cats in my neighborhood, and I look at like walks around my area as like an opportunity to go visit the cats. Right? I don't touch them because I don't want to bring fleas into the house or get scratched. I get enough of that at home. But I connect with their energy. I send them love. I tell them they're beautiful. I hype them up. So it's
Yeah.
fun.
I love that so much. I love that so much. Yeah, and if you have little strays in your neighborhood, you don't have to feed them outside of your house. You can feed them away from your house because you don't, you can
Mhm.
give them a little food, but not make them. Then they know you're friendly, right? That's something, I don't know, something you could do too. Thank you so much, Devon. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Aw.
Ah, you have 2 kitties. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, spend time with
We
your
both
kitty.
have two kitties too. We've
2
all got
kitties.
it figured out.
Oh my gosh. And I'm always tempted to get a new kitten because who doesn't love a kitten? I'm like, no, you got to stop at 2. You cannot have more.
Did I tell you my mom has 4 kittens now?
Oh my gosh. Oh
She
my
went from
gosh.
1 cat to 5 cat, or no, sorry, 6 cats in like a week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's
Oh
keeping
my
all
gosh.
of them too, because
Oh my gosh.
she's
Yeah,
family. She's related to me, so I would obviously do the same thing. Just
exactly.
have
I
no
mean,
willpower.
I know it's like who a kitten. Oh my gosh. I look at videos of my little Ozma when she was a kitten and I miss it so much. She was so cute. Oh my gosh. She's still cute. but she's
This
not as
month is 10 years since I got Simone, and I keep getting like flashback photos on my Facebook of her as like, the size of like I don't know, a tennis ball. She's so cute, but she's
Oh,
still really cute. So
yeah, she's such a
better.
fluffy girl. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Devon. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Devon.
Galadriel, thank you so much. I donated 20 on Venmo. There was a weird week at work in my office with the temp being hired. Was this clearing up bad energy or should I be concerned? Okay.
And then she has a second question too. So one
Okay.
card for each.
Okay. One card for each. All right. So let's see that. Thank you so much. Oh, this card is showing up a lot. 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands energy. So 5 of Wands is not, it is like not being on the same page is really 5 of Wands energy. It's not aggression. It's not fighting. It's more like confusion or things having to work to get things together to be on the same page. So I think that's really the work at the office with the temp being hired. It was what?
Temp was fired.
Oh, 5.
She heard hired, but it looks like she's clarifying now.
Okay, temp was fired. Sorry.
Makes more sense.
Well, I thought maybe the temp was like chaotic or something. So it isn't anything that has to do with you, but it is like that temp wasn't on the same page as everybody. I mean, that's simple. They didn't have the experience that maybe they thought that they projected, or they weren't right for the job. But I think it's like a blip. 5 of Wands energy can be confusion or not being on the same page. That's the long and short of it. It's not anything to be feared. It's not anything to worry about for you. I think it's just like they're streamlining things in some way, and that person wasn't, somehow wasn't on board or wasn't contributing in some way, or wasn't, part of the team, wasn't team worker. This is teamwork. She was angry. Yeah. And that's your answer right there. Somebody who's like, has an attitude or mouths off or, does those things. So yeah, absolutely. So, that may have been the bad apple that, they didn't want. And so they got rid of that person, and we wish that person well, hopefully, unless she was angry at you and being a jerk, but, wish them well on their way to find the job that is right for them. Obviously, if they're angry, they weren't happy there either. So, something's going on for them, but it's not, especially I think with a temp, it's their job to fit into the existing environment. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, rather than everybody accommodating to their needs. That's it. So that's all there was to it.
I was temping once and I was like, this is the easiest job ever. No one could mess this up. This is so easy. How am I being paid for this? Then they hired a second temp. And in one afternoon, she made $5,000 of mistakes. So you can let this be an affirmation that like, you are in the right place. You are doing good at this. Otherwise, they would have already shown you the door.
100% correct. Like there's nothing for you to fear because I feel like you mesh with it, but that person did not mesh, So, yeah. So we wish that person well, that she finds the right match for something that won't make her angry. So totally. Maybe she was angry she had to work. Temping, they're expecting that temping job to be sitting around playing on the computer all day. So I don't know. I'm just being funny. Second question. I had a bad fall on Thursday and it bruised, sore, and threw up for an hour afterwards. Am I okay? Did you fall and hit your head? Because if you fall and hit your head and have a concussion, you can throw up. Oh, I hope you didn't hit your head. You can put in the chat and let us know. But let's take a look and see. So sorry to hear about that. Oh, yeah, you're fine. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. I mean, Pentacles represent health because it represents that 5 points, although you can't really see it. Those are, where are her pentacles?
She's got them.
There, but I guess it's the sunflowers. So, with Queen of Pentacles, with Queen of Pentacles energy, that's like growth and health. And so I think you're bruised and you're battered and you've, been through it, but this is saying you're fine, that health wise you're fine. Of course, with any health issue, we shouldn't just rely on a reading. You should go get checked out by a doctor. This is a physical body that you need to get checked. So I am suggesting that in addition to looking and seeing that everything's okay, you confirm that everything is okay by seeing a doctor. That's, would be good in this situation. And move with grace and ease like a queen. Let's slow down, make sure we're, stable on our feet, and all of those things too can be helpful. Yeah. I hate when I can't find my pentacle. I know, right? You're so funny.
I actually had a bag of pentacles, oddly enough, like 3 little pentacle charms that belonged to my old roommate who passed away. And I was convinced that I had not brought them with me when I moved, to the point where I had kind of given up on it. And I was like, well, it would be really cool to have those, but I do not. And then I started working with my house spirit. I found them in like the weirdest place. So your pentacles will always come back to you when you lose them. Don't worry. I pulled this little sewing machine, which to me tells me like you've not done any irreparable damage. You will mend just fine. If we pulled this day up and you were bleeding, I would maybe say go get stitches, but I don't think you need them. Otherwise, you probably know by 3 days out. But yeah, I think you're okay. But never a bad idea to go get it checked out and be sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I always think, when people ask medical advice of a reading, it's a physical body, and readings have to do with the spirit, of course they deal with physical things, but never would I say, ever would I say, don't get legal advice, go to a tarot reader. Don't get healthcare advice, go to both. Get both opinions, both views, and get checked out and see what happened. I'm going to tell you a little. I don't know if you guys care about my stories, but I bonked my pinky toe on my bed, like my bed frame. I was just running around trying to clean up the house. This is like 6 weeks ago, and I bumped my pinky toe, and it hurt like horribly. But you bump your toe, and then it feels a little bit better like the next day. Well, it still has not gotten better. And I went to my doctor a month after it happened. I'm like, I think I broke my toe, and she's like, you need to go get that X-rayed. Little bit, but she's like, you need to go do it. So like do the thing, that we know we need to do, which is go get it checked out too, and say what happened and find out. Yeah. Find out what's going on. Always get it checked out. It's a good thing to do. Yeah. Thank you, Galadriel Faye. You are the best.
Oh, so good to see you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Who do we have next? We have
Universal Soul Goddess.
Universal Soul Goddess. I'm seeing your name on the chat. I'm like, the love witch is what are you reading? What, do we have another one?
No, I just don't know where you saw my name.
Your name is not showing up it's showing up on my private chat as you sent the message. That's where I'm looking at it. You sent the message. So your name is bold. So I look at what? I get a little confused. All right, let's take a look at Universal Goddess. I always say Universal Soul Goddess, but it's Universal Goddess.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mind just filled in those letters too, actually.
Me too. Oh my gosh. I realized it last week and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to pay attention to that. Universal Goddess, which is such a great name.
All right. Even cooler.
Outlook for the week. I love it. Yes, expecting good news. I feel like it's going to come. It's going to come later in the week, it looks like. So Hermit card shows up first, and Hermit card is like, it may even feel like at the beginning of the week, like you're not hearing anything. You might even be like a little cocooned, what about this, but also the Hermit card represents this idea of research. If there's anything regarding this good news that you could research, look into something, dig in, find something, this could be an amazing thing to do. Amazing thing to do would be to like learn more about the thing. I think knowledge, in this case, knowledge is power. Whatever is going on, whatever good news you are looking forward to, find out more about it. Meaning, maybe, you've got a project that you're going to work on with somebody and you're going to get green light for something. Find a little bit about the person that you're working with, or learn more, see what other things they've done, and research it a little bit more. Like, a little bit of research can really feed something here. There's something here that is going to be fed by a little bit of research. And it just is a way of, like, I think almost like, when people apply for a job and they don't know anything about the company, and they start, I think almost like people can tell that you really haven't done your research. You might not ask the right questions. I'm not saying this is your situation, but, like, finding out a little bit about, like, the company or the people that you're going to work with, or the institution, or the prize givers, or whatever it is, can really go a long way. So it's saying do a little research, but it might be a little quiet toward the beginning of the week. Maintain your open energy of the Fool card. This is that beautiful energy of, like, the Fool being very open, being very young, being ready for all of the stuff. This is like the moment before the Big Bang. It's all of this potential. There's potential in this project that you're working on, this thing that you're expecting the good news from, and it's fresh and young and optimistic and open. So bring that level of openness to this project. The third card is the one I was so intrigued with, that good news. This is the card of news. When we see, especially when we see knights and pages of swords, that is like news bringers. So I feel like this card showing up third is saying that news is going to come. It's going to be positive news, but it's going to come toward the end of the week, latter part of the week. So it's like, what you want to cultivate at this time is the preparation for that good news. Whatever you like, that's what I feel like with the Hermit card. Be prepared, but be open. Is that like, it's kind of like, don't have everything pre-planned, or don't have everything really structured. You want to be freely flowing, but having that information on tap, having that research on tap could be perfect, the perfect thing to do. So yeah. Excellent. Love it.
I got this money bag. So if this is like money related news, it is going to be very good. But even if it's not money related news, I think it's money that's going to, or like it's news that's going to lead to even more money and even more prosperity in your life. Oh, okay. It's definitely money news. We have an update here.
Oh, I had a great interview with the CEO and VP of a company. The VP was in Texas and lost power after he left the CEO and had a chat. And he said he felt good about me. Yeah, that's perfect. And research that company, research those people. You want to have that information on tap without being like, prepared with a prepared statement. You want to be able to kind of drop, if it comes up in conversation, drop it in. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's really good news. Yeah. What did you say? Anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, I just think get ready and be as prepared as you can without being over prepared. And you don't want to sound like you're working from a script, but just like know your stuff and get ready for good news. And I think looking forward toward the end of the week is smart, because you don't want to feel too anxious or too eager about it, right? Know that it's on its way in the right time. And this is time that's being given to you to prepare and get even more ready for it.
I love it. I love it. I'm sorry for the bings and bongs. Honoreo is it's on my list that they get through, the texts get through, and I'm sorry. They're binging and bonging. I'll deal with him later. He's such a good friend, and we always send each other memes and things. He's sending me all this stuff. So I'll get to that. Wonderful. Universe Soul Goddess will do. Thank you both. You're so welcome. It looks really good. Just be very open, but have that preparation of that research would be really good. Yeah. And I love that charm. Perfect. Alrighty. So, okay. So next one we have Galadriel. Yes. One more question, because I loved your reading for Avenue Parter on their writing. Do my guides universe have a theme that I should explore my thesis? Let's see what the cards have to say and the guides have to say. I love that. Oh my gosh. I love that. Well, it's going to be, because I don't know what your thesis is in, like, so it may be a little vague, but you'll connect the dots with whatever I'm getting. I know you'll fill it in. Oh my gosh. Such a cool card. 10 of Pentacles. So 10 of Pentacles has such deep meaning. I mean, The sort of direct meaning is like ancestral information. So this can be going back. I mean, ancestral information can be going back and looking at how people lived in the past. The past, I mean, it's the past, right? It could be generational stuff. It could be dealing with families. It could be dealing with anything like that. I mean, it's like ancestral energy. I mean, I don't know how that's going to fit into your thesis. Does it work? Oh, poetry. Poetry. Oh my
Easy.
gosh. This is
Yeah.
amazing. So, I mean, looking at ancestry, looking at your heritage, looking at people of your past, looking at your ancestors and what they went through, imagining what people of the past did. I mean, I feel like you can do this channeled kind of stuff. It could be
Yeah.
kind of amazing. I
Wow.
do know this one thing. I do get this message, this really strong message too about this is that it's about like your ancestors looking at you and supporting you. So whatever you do in your thesis, they're going to look and you are going to be the fulfillment of their dreams and beyond. What you are
Mm.
doing is beyond their wildest dreams and they are really in your corner and they're really supporting you. Absolutely 100%. But it may be interesting to explore even in kind of a fictionalized way, like what your ancestors experienced. I'm going to throw this out there because it's kind of a parallel. But my wonderful friend and musician, Christy Callan, she's an amazing, talented musician. We were in a couple bands together in the past. And one of the bands, she wrote this song called Pickin' Cotton, and it's like a story song about her step grandmother, I think, or her aunt or somebody that was like related to her but not like a direct relation. And it's a story of how she lost her mother when I think she lost both of her parents or her mother when she was a little girl, and or her father died or something, and then so the family was so poor that all the kids and everybody in the family had to go out and pick cotton just so that they could survive. And to tell that in a song, it's such a moving song to me, even though I'm no relation to this person, but just to think about all that our ancestors went through in their struggles to get you to where you are today. And I think
Mhm.
having gratitude and appreciation for that. So I don't know. Maybe there could be an ancestral element to this, or going back in history, or going back in time, or even, filling in a story. I mean, we have stories from our ancestors. We may get snippets, but we can fill in the blanks too. We can connect the dots of those stories and we can fictionalize what happened in those stories.
Mhm.
So, you don't have to be like, especially with poetry, you don't have to be, it's not a reporting, doesn't need to be accurate. You can be expressing those experiences. So I mean, I feel like there's so much potential in that card. I mean, I have a little bias in that I love history and I love looking back and I love ancestry and I love working with my ancestors. So I would like be in heaven doing this. But think about how that kind of past history or ancestral lineage or things like that play into, um, your poetry. It can even be like, you know, I know you're a woman and you identify as a woman. What women went through in the past can be something here to acknowledge that sacrifices that were made, the suffering that happened, and how that reminds us we still have a long way to go. We do have a long way to go with, bringing in a, the world that you're envisioning, which I know you, Galadriel Faye, and I know you're like envisioning a world that has equality for all and support of all and upliftment of all. And so writing about like what people went through can give us the courage and the energy to move forward, to make progress instead of going backwards. When we have this whole country that is pushing us backwards into like hell, I mean, how can we get to move forward? We have to move forward. We have to move forward. We have to really be relentless. So I know it's in the air right now, but yeah, I know you're going to do something amazing. Oh, this is so amazing. So maybe that's something. Maybe there's a little nugget in there for you, and that will inspire something for your poetry project. I love that.
I could not have a more closely related charm to show right now. I pulled the Goddess of Willendorf, who is old, 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 old. She's the oldest piece of art that we even know of. So go way back, look through your personal family's history, look through history as a whole, look for women throughout history. I think you're really hitting something on the head with that, because this is, has that divine feminine energy to it. But yeah, you got to go back. I'm also going to encourage you to go to a site called familysearch.org. It's a free site, and I used it to find some really early ancestors with stories that blew my mind that I had no idea I was connected to. So I think this could be a real rabbit hole for you, and you Scorpio who can uncover any mystery. You're the perfect hands for this to fall into.
Oh my gosh, I love that. You Scorps give me life. That's all I have to
Me
say.
and Galadriel have the same birthday. We're both the
Oh
15th.
my gosh.
Incredible.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Yeah, so I very much understand how her mind works.
I love my Why do we have so many? I mean, I attract Scorpios. Am I a Scorpio whisperer?
Well, everybody in my life is a Cancer, so
I love that. I love that. So
can't
then
keep us
you
apart.
attracted exactly. You attracted me. Well, you guys, you did an awesome job. Let's see what we did today. We did 80, 90, 120, 160, 180, $220, you guys, 220. What a bravo. This means we're feeding 5.5 seniors this week. 5.5, we're going to be supporting, bringing 2 weeks worth of groceries to them. You guys are awesome. Love you guys so much. So grateful for you being here, whether you're getting a reading done or you're just watching and enjoying. We're so glad you're here, and we're so grateful to you. Don't forget a couple of announcements before we go. First thing is, whichever one you put up first, that's the one I'll announce.
It's this one.
Oh, the Lionsgate Portal Candle Spell Kit. This is available through, if you don't know about the Lionsgate, it's this really special time between the end of July and July 28th through August 12th. It's a 2-week period, the peak being 8/8, August 8th, which is the peak of the Lionsgate Portal. It's an amazing time for manifesting. So we made a little kit, and I was like, maybe 5 or 10 people will buy it. Who knows? No, it's been flying off the shelves. When we left on Friday, we'd already sold over 50 of them.
Wow.
And we only have one mold. So we're like churning out those lions like there's no tomorrow. I mean, you would, the Parlor of Wonders is like this. Oh my gosh, we're like pouring that mold, putting it in the fridge so it cools down faster, bringing it out, the candle, pouring another one, putting it in. It's like we're like hustling to get all those lion candles done, but we will get them out to you. We're caught up almost. Like when we left on Friday, we were like 3. I think we had to make 3. So, wow. I'm sure we got some orders.
So, especially since you told Miss Kelly, make like 5. We're not going to sell that.
I know, exactly. I know. See, this is what happens when you let your spells just go.
Exactly.
Amazing things happen. So anyway, Lionsgate Portal Candle Spell Kit has been a super popular spell kit, and it will be available only until the Lion Gates closes. So you'll still get it if you order it, but really you want to order it now because the portal is opening on July 28th. It runs through August 12th, peak day being 8/8, and you want to get that in time. So make sure you get that Lionsgate Portal Candle Spell Kit before too long so that you can get in that Lionsgate. I mean, you can light it any time for that success and opening up opportunities for positive attention, manifesting of all kinds, manifestations of all kinds. You can work with this candle for that. It's a really good candle for attracting positive attention if you want a job, or you want a new love in your life, or you want success, or you have a project that you're working on, or a thesis for your doctoral thesis that you need people to see what you're doing and appreciate what you're doing. Anything where you need to have yourself or a project or your work or anything looked upon favorably. You want to manifest something from it. You want to open up the path to it. This is the perfect candle spell for that. And so a beautiful candle spell. It comes with gem glitter. It comes with glass glitter. It comes with oils. It comes with sunflower petals. I just got a big bucket of sunflower petals from I call him my brother-in-law. It's my boyfriend's brother. He has a beautiful home with a huge field of sunflowers in his yard.
Oh, wow.
And he picked those sunflower petals for me. So these are organic, hand harvested by a wonderful person. And so you're going to get those sunflower petals in your in your kit. So that's one thing that we're announcing before we wrap up. Another thing that we're announcing is what else?
If you want to get an email tomorrow when the new moon goes on sale, make sure to
Oh,
sign up
yes.
for our newsletter, and you'll get a free illustrated ebook as well.
That's right. When you sign up here at this link, you either go to spellsquad.com or you go to this QR code, you sign up. You're going to get 3 things. Number 1, you are going to get this free illustrated ebook. This is 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spell Work. It's a 33-page ebook. It's beautifully illustrated. It's going to tell you the 7 secrets that you need to know to make your spells pop. If you don't know, like your spells are kind of like half and half, some work, some don't work. This is the key. This is going to tell you those secrets on how to work with oils, incense, herbs, what to do if your spell is going sideways. How do you know your spell is working? All of these things are in this book. And it's not a beginner's book. It's got beginning level stuff, but it's also got intermediate level, advanced level, and mastery level things that you can do to enhance and expand your magical practice. It is a amazing value. This book is $20. It sells for $20, but you can get it for free when you sign up by going to spellsquad.com or going to that QR code. Not only that, but you will, it's like a Ginsu commercial. Not only that, you're going to get that, but you're also going to get access to the live magic Q&A tea party that takes place every Sunday, except for the first Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's 1 hour with me where I answer your questions about magic, and it's a wonderful time. We have a great time there. It's really fun. So you can get that for free. You can be in my private Zoom room. It doesn't cost anything, but you have to get the link, and to get the link, you have to join Spell Squad. Third thing you're going to get is you're going to get a coupon code. If you submit your email address so that you get emails, you'll get 10% off. If you submit your email and your phone number, you're going to get a coupon for 15% off your first purchase at the Parlor of Wonders. So this is another bonus. We're going to have new bonuses coming up soon too. So if you're on the list, you're going to get that new bonus. We have a really great bonus that we're going to be giving out to all the people on the email list. So you want to keep your eyes open. When is that going out? Do we know when that new gift is going out?
If you sign up now, you will actually get it. It's live now. Yeah. So
well,
there
we'll
you
tell
go.
them what it
You'll
is.
get
So
4 things. You're going to
it's
get some exclusive pages from Madame Pamita's Book of Shadows.
I've got 13 pages for my Book of Shadows. They're printable pages. They're so cute. I made them super cute, but you can print them out on your printer, black and white or color, whatever you want to do. And you can put them in your Book of Shadows. There's going to be amazing. It's correspondence pages, like everything you need to know in that one thing. Like it's like correspondences of planets. It's the correspondences of astrological signs, color magic, special herbs. What do I think are like the most essential herbs you can have? What else do I have in there? Trying to think what else is in there. Do you know? Do you remember?
You have information about the planets, about planetary hours, spell timing. There's a ton of stuff in there. Really just,
about the
and the
moon.
moon phases.
Moon phases. It's like this handy guide. You can print it out, put it in the 3-hole punch, or paste it into your Book of Shadows, however you want to work with it. And you've got this amazing resource, and it's free for people on the list. So if you want to get those 13 pages from my grimoire, these are pages that I have had for many years actually in my grimoire. I'm sharing these with you, and these are a special gift. You can buy them if you don't want to sign up on the email list. It's totally fine. You can buy them for $20, or you can get them for free by signing up on the email list. Everybody that's on the list got them for free. So okay, we got one more reading before we go, and then we'll do our rest of our announcements. Okay, Roger, thank you so much. Wonderful. One card, does Spirit have a message of encouragement that will help me cope with not making the cut after my good job interview? I know. Again, this is almost, I don't know if you were here earlier, Roger, but like sometimes that what we're looking at right now actually opens up into the best possible thing. So don't get stuck. I know we've had conversations about this, Roger, I know. So don't get stuck on what's happening right now, because this is going to open up something great. Don't worry that you didn't make the cut for this one. That person may not work out, and they may come back to you, or another job may open up and they may say, hey, remember that guy, Roger? He was awesome. So don't get too fussy about what happened right now, because it still has life in it, right? It still has life in it, even though it feels like it's done and over. There's something there for you. Something there for you.
Yeah, I have an experience like that may be hopeful for you, Roger. Once I interviewed with this job, thought the interview went amazing, was so excited, didn't get it. And then a couple of months later, I ran into the woman who interviewed me, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. What a sinking ship. Do you want to come work for me at my new company? And so I was spared. I didn't have to work for that terrible company. And instead I got in the door at somewhere that was way better. So you never know what's going to open up.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like, we can't, it's a bet. If you want to, you know what, I'm going to give you a little direction here. If you go into my podcast, Magic and the Law of Attraction, and you go back, which is on hiatus right now, but the old episodes are still up there. If you go back to like episode 3 or 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere in the early, definitely single digits, you'll find that one that says how to deal with magical disappointment. And I think this is such an essential listen for everybody. It is not how to deal with magical disappointment. I put that phrase because I'm like, how can I get magic into this? It is how to deal with disappointment in your spiritual practice. And disappointment, there's so much good information in that podcast that will help you to see it from a bird's eye view, to not get so hyper focused on this one incident, which I know you're not. But, people can get like, oh, I'm so disappointed. Listen, even recently, I had such a big disappointment where I felt really betrayed in a certain aspect of my life. I felt so betrayed. It was like a real stab in the back, and it felt horrible. And I was mad, and I was crying, and I was sad, and I just had all the emotions. Like, I gave you my best, and this is what I get. And then what happens? But something so much better opened up for me. Like, it was the force that got me to that really, really great thing. So don't look at a betrayal or a bad thing as like, that's the end of it. It's like, this may lead to something else. And that's exactly what I see here. We have 9 of Cups, and 9 of Cups is like checking everything off on your list, right? You're like having the perfect situation, the wish card. So whatever is happening right now, you can acknowledge it's painful, it's hard, but don't take away the possibility that it's opening the door to something even better, which is what I'm seeing here. So that's where you want to keep your focus, is like, I always say this, okay, this is not safe for little ears. So if you got someone little ear, mute it for a moment, but you're going to find the diamond in the shit, right? So like, if you saw a pile of dog poop, and I told you that there was a $500,000 diamond in that dog poop, would you go digging through that dog poop? I would. I don't care. I can wash my hands later. It's disgusting and gross and horrible, and I wouldn't ever do it normally. But if I knew that there was a diamond in there that would be life-changing, I would dig through that crap, right? And so the same thing is true here. It's like, hidden in that crap is a diamond. There's a diamond coming. So don't get stuck on the appearances of something. You look at that and say, it's a pile of dog poo. I would never put my hand in that. Are you kidding me? Disgusting. But if I knew there was a diamond, I would put my hand in there. Would you?
I would say, hey, Madam Kamita, I got $50 if you want to put your hand in this dog poop and get my diamond for me.
You know what would happen? I'd be like, oh, there's nothing in here. I got to go. Bye.
No, you're not getting away with that. I know the value of that poop, Pam.
So I think what you have to do is have your X-ray vision on and know that in that poop is a diamond, right? It's probably because so many people interviewed. Probably a blessing in disguise. I could have been put in a place where I've gotten along badly with certain people. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I talk about in that thing. We don't know. And like, trust the universe is leading you right to your good result. And so I know you've been dreaming and wanting this for a very long time, but don't get stuck in what's happening right now, because like the Love Witch says, and my story, I mean, I wouldn't even be here right now if something crappy hadn't happened to me. I got fired from my librarian job. There's a thing. I was working at a high school as the librarian, and they replaced me with a minimum wage worker. I couldn't live on minimum wage. I was a single mom, and I'm a single mom with 2 kids. And so I could not take them $8 an hour. It was what they were paying back then. Oh my God. $8 an hour. They were, and I would be making 20 something an hour. Right. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It was the Tower card. It was a Tower card moment. And I'm like, well, I'm doing tarot readings for parties and, this and that. I'm just going to have to like double down and really focus on tarot and doing readings and getting gigs for the time being until I figure out my next job. Every door opened when I started doing this. It's like the universe was pushing me in that direction. And I would have been very satisfied at that library job, staying forever, if it weren't for that crazy thing. So it felt like such a deep betrayal and such a horrible thing, a tower moment, but it led me to my glorious thing. So I think that is something you want to keep in mind too. That the crappiest things can give us that diamond, but we have to be willing to look for the diamond. We have to be willing to look for the diamond, and we have to be open to it. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's messed up. But then it led you to where you are today. Exactly. So I think that what you want to get into the mind, the headspace, and I know you're such a positive person, get into the headspace of like, oh, this is going to lead to something really great. And I don't know what it is, but I'm open to it. Like that Fool card energy, because 9 of Cups is the best card. It's the wish card. It's getting your wish. So I feel like you're going to get your wish. It just might not, maybe this wasn't good enough for you. Like you said, might have been crappy coworkers and, falling apart building. Who knows what's going on there? But you are going to be in the perfect place. So just keep that going and listen to that podcast episode. It's such a good one and you'll love it. So, yeah.
And you can find that right here on YouTube. There's a playlist that has
Oh, yeah.
every episode of the Magic and the Law of Attraction podcast.
Excellent. I love that. So, what other announcements you have to pick a charm.
Oh, look, I got this little, these lovebirds. So I think there's still a job out there that's going to make your heart sing and that is really like the perfect match. I'm holding this backwards. So don't give up. Stay really hopeful, stay really joyous, and show some gratitude for not getting this job because clearly it was not the one you wanted.
Yeah, your 9 of Cups job is on the horizon, so keep going. I mean, imagine like being at a pretty okay job. I mean, it doesn't have to be terrible. Maybe it's just like it's okay. But if you were in that okay job, you wouldn't apply for the other job that has amazing things, right? So that's what we want to, like, the universe is directing you in some way. So yeah, that's what you want to keep hope and keep. I mean, I feel like that heart with the birds is such hope, right? It's, and keep and aim for that job that's going to make your heart sing. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, you guys. So we raised 10, 20, 50, 70, 110, 150, 230 we did.
Wow.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Any other announcements for the Parlor of Wonders? I think we have the bundles. You want to talk about? I can talk about.
Oh yeah, we can talk about the bundles for a minute.
Yes, we have something new at the Parlor of Wonders, which is our bundles. If you want to try oils and you want to like get all the love oils, you can get them in the full size with the dropper. You can get them in the little sample size. Maybe you just need a little bit of everything. So you can get those bundles and you can get everything from like a love one, a control one, and by the way, I have sold the control one. You had the idea for control. I was like, really? People do want control. Control one.
What kind of magic you're doing?
Do. Love one, money, control, protection, cleansing. Yeah, we got, and then you
some
get
of our bestsellers assembled together too.
Bestsellers, and then you also have the full collection of oils, 49 different oils that you can get, and we've sold that too. 49 different sample size or 49 different full size oils. You can have everything. So these are wait. Now the reason we're doing these bundles is because we're bundling them together. You can get a discount on them. You're going to get them cheaper than if you bought them separately. So it gives you a little bit of a discount and gives you a whole array of oils that you can work with. So we also have soaps that we have bundles on soaps, and we're going to be rolling out some other bundles coming up. So keep your eyes on that because we're going to have some cool bundles coming out that are not oils and not soaps. So those will be coming soon. All right. So anything else that we need to talk about? I think that's it. Oh, no, it's the new moon. We don't have a thing for the new moon.
Yeah, we don't have a thing for the new moon, but if you sign up for the newsletter, you're going to get an email tomorrow when it goes on sale, or if you head to Parlor of Wonders anytime after noon Pacific, it will be there right on the front page and at the announcements bar at the top. So don't forget to get your pyramid of success.
Success. So what we're doing this year is all the fire signs are success spells. So we're in Leo, it's a fire sign. So we're having a success spell. All the earth signs are money spells, all the cups, all the water signs are love spells, and all the air signs are protection spells. So we're doing a little rotation of, 4 different topics. So now we're on to success. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for donating and doing readings. We love you all. Thank you again. We'll see you next week at the same time. I thank you again. Thank you for supporting those seniors in Ukraine. We're going to be making that donation. If you want to see, that's what we can do. Put Yulia's thing up. If you want to see where your donation went to, you can add Yulia on Facebook. She is the one that is spearheading Subotin Harbor, and you can add her on Facebook, and you can see those seniors that you help. We send it over right now. Right after this, we'll be sending that money over. And then today, it's like super, super early in the morning in Ukraine. She'll be going out and taking that money and buying groceries and delivering groceries today, fresh groceries today. So it is a really great way for you to see who you helped. You can just go and look at her feed. So yeah, and you'll be amazed. The stories are heartbreaking and also encouraging and amazing. And you're doing such a good thing in the world. You guys are being that random act of kindness that is going to shift the energy of this world. Oh, I want to say one thing before I go. One thing, talking about being in the flow of life. On Friday night, I went to the Hollywood Bowl. My friend gave me tickets. So my boyfriend and I went to the Hollywood Bowl. It was for John Williams and movie music. So it was some his music and some other people's music from movies and TV shows and things that he wrote and things that other people composed and so on, done by an orchestra. So the first half was all these different movies. And then the second half, they did some other things. And then it was more focused on John Williams. Then the last part of it was playing music from Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
And when I'm sitting in the Hollywood Bowl, I'm going to post it on Instagram because it was the world is so freaking heavy right now. And the news is really freaking heavy. And being out in the world is really scary, especially if you're looking at a lot of news, which is designed to make you feel afraid, right? So I was feeling like, this world is ugly. There's a lot of ugliness going on in the world, and it's heartbreaking and sad and, makes me upset and everything like that. But I was at this moment and they're playing the Star Wars theme, and the whole audience was like people with lightsabers waving them around to the Star Wars theme. And I went, this is such, I go, nerds are my people, first of all. I went, like, beautiful, like, this is the real world, not what we see on social media, not what we see in the news. A bunch of nerds with lightsabers waving in time to a live orchestra with real people playing the songs from Star Wars is the real world. That's the real world. So, we have to keep those moments in our heart as much or not, if not more, than the ugliness that we see in the world. So let's be those lightsabers in the world. And when you make a donation to help a senior in Ukraine, you're being a lightsaber. And when we all are lightsabers, it's a beautiful thing, man. It was a beautiful thing. So I'm going to post that on my Instagram so y'all can see it.
Please do. I want to see that.
Yeah, it was so magical. And I just was delighted. It was just like, and that happens from going out in the world and, not getting stuck on what's being fed to you through the news. The news is just a dark place, man. Right now, it's really dark. So, yeah. Anyway, gonna leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for joining us here. Be a lightsaber in a world of darkness. Be a lightsaber.